There is a hidden epidemic affecting millions of people over the age of 60, a condition that silently strips away your muscle, leaving you weaker year after year. Many people simply accept this as a normal part of just getting old, a fate that cannot be changed. But today, we are here to say, no more. We are about to reveal how a single, inexpensive and natural powder, when added to your daily morning coffee, can become your most powerful ally in the fight against this relentless muscle decline. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it a fleeting trend. This is based on decades of rigorous scientific research. If you are ready to discover this simple secret to building a stronger, more vibrant, and more independent future, then do not go anywhere. And to join a growing community that actively chooses strength over surrender, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel right now. The information we are about to share has the potential to truly change your life. Let us commence our discussion today with a piece of information that may not only be surprising, but could fundamentally shift your perspective on the aging process. It is a widely documented biological reality that once an individual surpasses the milestone of their 30th birthday, the body embarks on a gradual, almost imperceptible decline in muscle integrity. Over the course of each subsequent decade, a period of just 10 years, we can expect to lose a significant portion of our vital muscle mass, somewhere in the range of 3 to as much as 8%. This is not a possibility. It is a physiological certainty for the vast majority of the population. This process, however, does not remain linear. As we advance in years, its pace quickens dramatically. After one crosses the significant threshold of 60 years of age, this decline in muscle moves even faster, accelerating at a startling rate. The signs of this progression may already be subtly weaving themselves into the fabric of your daily life. You might notice that the simple act of rising from your bed in the morning feels heavier, more laborious than it once did. Perhaps you have observed that ascending a flight of stairs, a task once performed with ease, now leaves you feeling winded and fatigued. Or maybe the familiar weight of grocery bags feels more challenging to manage, a heavier burden than you remember. It is imperative to understand that this experience is not merely an unavoidable consequence of getting old. This condition has a precise medical designation. It is known as age-related muscle decline. It represents a hidden, pervasive issue that silently affects millions upon millions of people across the globe. Its impact extends far beyond a simple reduction in physical strength. It systematically and gradually strips away personal independence, chips away at self-confidence, and constrains the profound freedom to live life according to your own desires and capabilities. The most insidious aspect of this problem is that the vast majority of people do not become aware of what is happening within their own bodies until the process has already progressed to a significant and often debilitating degree. Yet, within this challenging reality, there is a beacon of good news. A remarkably simple, single addition to your daily morning coffee ritual holds the power to change everything. We are referring to an ingredient that you might typically and mistakenly associate only with elite athletes and dedicated fitness enthusiasts. The truth is, this very ingredient also stands as one of the most potent and scientifically validated tools in the fight against muscle loss after the age of 60. In this detailed presentation, we will thoroughly explain the identity of this ingredient, delve into the compelling science that explains why it works so effectively within the human body, and provide a clear, step-by-step method for its daily use to ensure you achieve the absolute best results possible. Before we unveil the solution, it is of paramount importance that you possess a comprehensive and clear understanding of the specific condition we are addressing. This condition is known as sarcopenia. It must be stressed that sarcopenia is not just a synonym for getting older. It is not something that you should be expected to passively accept as a normal and unavoidable feature of the aging journey. On the contrary, it is a well-recognized and defined medical condition that is specifically characterized by the accelerated decline of your muscle tissue, a marked reduction in your physical power, and a significant impairment of your overall ability to move. To better conceptualize this, picture your body as an architectural structure, like a building. From the outside, the walls may continue to appear sturdy and robust. However, The true integrity of the entire structure depends entirely on the strength of the internal support beams that keep it standing tall and strong. Your muscles are those essential support beams. Under the influence of sarcopenia, these foundational supports slowly begin to shrink, they progressively weaken, and they inexorably wear away, year after year. At the outset, these internal shifts are so gradual that they are hardly noticeable. But as time relentlessly moves forward, the very foundation of the body begins to shake, making routine tasks profoundly harder and more dangerous to perform. The statistical data associated with sarcopenia is far more concerning than most people realize. From the age of 50 onward, we naturally lose approximately 1% of our total muscle mass each and every year. While that figure might not sound dramatic, the rate of loss intensifies after the age of 60, when the pace can easily double or even triple to a loss of 2 to 3% per year. Let us calculate the cumulative effect. By the time you reach the age of 80, you could have lost a staggering 40% of the muscle you had in your younger years. Imagine for a moment nearly half of your physical strength simply disappearing. This is precisely why simple household chores can suddenly feel overwhelming and exhausting. The warning signs of sarcopenia are more common than most would think. Clear, unmistakable indicators include requiring a noticeably longer time to get up from a chair, a sofa, or out of bed. They include finding that climbing stairs is unusually tiring or significantly harder to accomplish. Another sign is losing weight unexpectedly, with the loss being most visible in the arms and legs. You might also notice that pants or skirts feel loose around the thighs, while simultaneously feeling tighter around the waist. Less obvious, yet critically important, signs include a frequent loss of balance, even while standing still, having trouble opening jars or turning doorknobs, and finding that you need to use both hands or external support just to sit up in bed. This condition does more than just reduce strength. It critically raises the risk of major health issues. A landmark Harvard study, which tracked over 10,000 adults over the age of 65 for a full decade, produced unequivocal results. The participants with sarcopenia had a 58% higher risk of experiencing dangerous falls and an astonishing 73% greater risk of suffering hip fractures. These are not minor figures. They represent life-altering events. But the positive part is that this condition is not a permanent sentence. It can be slowed, it can be controlled, and strength can be regained. Why does it seem that our physical strength slips away with such surprising speed once we pass the age of 60? The complex reality is that this decline is not attributable to a single, isolated cause. Instead, it is the cumulative result of several hidden, interconnected factors working in concert over an extended period of time. The first of these factors involves profound hormonal shifts. As the years progress, the body's production of key hormones, such as testosterone, estrogen, and critical growth hormone, steadily and naturally drops. These chemical messengers play a major, indispensable role in the constant process of repairing and building our muscle tissue. When their levels decrease, the body's innate, natural ability to preserve its strength and maintain its muscle size declines right along with them. A second critical factor is the presence of ongoing, low-level inflammation. Growing older is very often linked with a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation that persists throughout the body. This quiet, internal burn does not produce sudden, acute pain, but it works silently in the background, gradually causing harm to muscle fibers and significantly speeding up their rate of breakdown. Think of this process as a slow, steady erosion, relentlessly wearing down the very tissue we depend upon to stay active and stable on our feet. The third contributing element is the development of insulin resistance. Our muscles rely on glucose as their primary and most immediate source of energy. After the age of 60, the cells of the body often stop responding to the hormone insulin as effectively as they once did. This makes it considerably harder for the muscles to absorb and utilize the fuel they need to function. The unfortunate result is less energy for movement, slower recovery times after activity, and a continued, uninterrupted loss of precious muscle mass. A fourth, and very significant, factor is a simple lack of movement. You have almost certainly heard the well-known phrase, "use it or lose it." This principle could not be more accurate when it comes to the health of our muscles. When we consciously or unconsciously cut back on our levels of physical activity, the body essentially interprets this as a signal to shut down the muscle fibers it believes are no longer needed. Finally, one of the most frequently overlooked factors is that the body's very efficiency in turning the protein from the food we eat into actual muscle tissue decreases markedly with age. This means that even if you are consuming what should be an adequate amount of protein after the age of 60, your body simply does not process it as well as it used to. When you combine all of these powerful factors, it becomes clear why so many older adults suddenly notice more weakness, slower movements, and less stamina. Now, let us turn our attention to the specific ingredient that has the proven potential to truly change the game in this struggle against muscle decline. The chances are high that you have heard its name before, but you may not fully realize just how immensely valuable it can be for people over the age of 60. That remarkable nutrient is creatine. Before you make the common assumption, isn't that something only for bodybuilders? Allow me to stop you right there. That is one of the single biggest and most persistent myths surrounding this compound. While it is true that the fitness world has frequently marketed creatine to athletes and young men who are chasing the goal of bigger muscles, the complete story is much broader, much more profound, and vastly more relevant to your own health and well-being. It is essential to understand that creatine is not an artificial or synthetic substance. It is a completely natural compound that was first identified way back in the year 1832 by a French chemist who discovered it in meat. In fact, your own body produces creatine every single day, with this production taking place in the liver, the kidneys, and the pancreas. Its fundamental purpose in the body is to serve as a readily available, high-energy fuel source for your muscles and, importantly, for your brain as well. Herein lies the challenge we face as we age. After we reach the age of 50, our natural production of creatine begins its slow decline. By the time you reach your 60s, your internal levels of creatine may have diminished by as much as 30%. This is why creatine supplementation has garnered so much scientific attention in the fight against age-related muscle decline. Unlike so many trendy health fixes that come and go, creatine has been the subject of rigorous scientific research for decades, and the results from these studies are consistently strong and compelling. The body of evidence shows that older adults who add creatine to their daily routine can gain up to 15% more muscle within a period of just 12 weeks, and they can increase their functional strength by as much as 30%. Furthermore, it has been shown to reduce muscle fatigue by nearly 40%, allowing for more sustained activity and quicker recovery with less stiffness and soreness. To truly appreciate why creatine is so powerfully effective, it is helpful to first understand, in a very simple way, how your muscles actually function on a cellular level. You can think of each and every muscle fiber in your body as a tiny, individual power plant. And just like any power plant, it can only operate if it has a constant and steady supply of energy. That essential energy comes from a molecule known by the name adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short. AT functions like a collection of rechargeable batteries, specifically for your muscles. It is the direct and immediate source of power for every single muscular contraction you make, whether you are lifting groceries, climbing a set of stairs, or performing an action as simple as getting up from a chair. The critical challenge, however, is that these ATP batteries do not last very long at all. During any kind of sudden or demanding physical movement, your available stores of AT pair completely drained in only 2 to 3 seconds. This is the precise point where creatine enters the picture as the essential support system. Creatine acts as an incredibly fast, almost instantaneous charger for those depleted muscle batteries. Instead of forcing your body to wait for the slow, natural process of restoring ATP, creatine steps in to help refill them almost instantly, allowing this cycle to repeat again and again. This crucial action allows your muscles to continue working at a much higher level for a longer duration, all with significantly less fatigue and better overall performance. And that is only the beginning of its benefits. Creatine also works to boost the fundamental way your muscles repair themselves and grow. It directly supports and enhances protein use, meaning it helps your body more efficiently turn the protein you consume from food into new, strong muscle tissue. It also enhances cellular hydration by pulling water directly into your muscle cells, which keeps them fuller, better hydrated, and functioning at their absolute best. Finally, creatine activates what are known as satellite cells. These are special helper cells located inside your muscles that typically remain inactive. Creatine sends a signal that wakes them up, prompting them to repair damaged muscle fibers and even to help create entirely new muscle tissue. This is especially important as we get older, since the body's natural repair mechanisms slow down considerably with age. Here is something that most people are never told. The influence of creatine is not confined only to muscle strength. Its positive effects reach across the entire body, offering a range of benefits that go well beyond physical activity. Consider its role in brain support. It is a fascinating fact that your brain, despite its relatively small size, uses about 20% of all the energy your body produces. By helping to increase the production of a TEAP within the brain itself, creatine can sharpen memory, boost focus, and improve overall mental clarity. One compelling study even demonstrated that older adults who were using creatine improved their cognitive thinking speed by up to 15%. Creatine also contributes to bone strength, working alongside calcium to support bone density and durability. It can also promote heart health. When your muscles become more efficient, your heart does not need to work as hard during normal activities, which eases the strain on your entire cardiovascular system. Now, let us discuss why combining creatine with your morning coffee is more than just a matter of convenience. It is in fact a smart, science-backed choice. There are 4 powerful, research-based reasons why this specific combination is so remarkably effective. The first reason is enhanced absorption. Caffeine functions as a natural transport partner for creatine. Studies have shown that when creatine is paired with caffeine, its uptake by the muscles can improve by as much as 25%. The second reason is a dual energy boost. Creatine and caffeine reinforce one another. Creatine powers your muscles at the cellular level, while caffeine stimulates your nervous system, leading to a steady, lasting boost in energy. The third reason involves stronger brain benefits. Research from the University of Sydney found that the duo of creatine and caffeine improved working memory by 40% more than what was achieved by caffeine on its own. The fourth reason is perfect timing. Your body's natural protein building cycle is most active in the morning, making this the ideal window to supply it with creatine. A landmark 6-month study conducted at McMaster University tracked 200 adults over the age of 65. The group that added creatine to their coffee gained 23% more muscle mass, were 31% more consistent with the program, reported an 18% improvement in sleep quality, and experienced a 27% reduction in daytime tiredness. Now that you have a firm understanding of why pairing creatine with coffee works so exceptionally well, let us proceed through the exact step-by-step plan you should follow for maximum efficacy. Every detail presented here matters, as even small mistakes can significantly reduce how well the strategy works. First, regarding the type of creatine, you must choose creatine monohydrate. This specific form is the most trusted, the most extensively researched, the most reliable, and the most effective available. Do not allow yourself to be distracted by premium-priced versions that make claims of superiority. Research has consistently shown no significant added benefit from these more expensive forms, and for older adults, consistency and proven results are what matter most. Second, let's discuss dosage. You should aim for a consistent daily intake of 3 to 5 grams. That is all that is required for this purpose. It is important to forget the loading phase you may have heard about, which is a strategy sometimes used by younger athletes seeking rapid results. For adults over the age of 60, a steady, moderate daily intake is far more effective, is easier on the digestive system, and is completely safe for long-term, continuous use. Third, timing is very important. You should add the creatine to your very first cup of coffee in the morning. The ideal time window for this is between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. The reason for this specific timing is that early in the day, your body experiences a natural cortisol peak, which aids in nutrient absorption. Fourth is the step-by-step preparation. Brew your coffee as you normally would. Measure 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate powder. Add this powder directly into your hot coffee and then stir it well for at least 30 seconds until it appears to have fully dissolved. Allow it to sit for 1 to 2 minutes to ensure it has blended completely, and then drink it while it is still warm. Finally, consistency and hydration are paramount. You must take it daily, not just on days you plan to be active. Creatine works by building up over time in your muscles, and daily use is what brings the best results. Furthermore, because creatine draws water into your muscles, you need to increase your fluid intake. Aim for a minimum of 8 full glasses of water each day to support its effects and your overall health. I know that even with all of this encouraging information, a part of you might still feel a degree of caution, and that is perfectly normal and understandable. Let's clear up the most frequent concerns one by one. The most common myth is that creatine is hard on the kidneys. In reality, decades of extensive research have conclusively shown that creatine is safe for people who have normal kidney health. The confusion stems from isolated cases involving athletes using excessively large amounts, which is not what we are discussing here. At a moderate, recommended dose of 3 to 5 grams daily, creatine is considered to be as safe as taking a daily vitamin. Another common sentiment is, "I've tried supplements before and they didn't work." But creatine is fundamentally different. It is not a miracle pill invented by marketers. It is a natural compound that your own body already produces in the liver, kidneys, and pancreas. Supplementing with it simply restores what your body now produces less of as you age. It works because you are replenishing something essential, not adding something foreign. And to the thought, "I'm too old to benefit," the answer is absolutely not. In fact, some of the most remarkable and inspiring improvements have been witnessed in people aged 70 and even 80. Age is not a reason to avoid creatine, it is one of the very best reasons to use it. You have 2 paths in front of you. The first option is to do nothing, to keep your routine the same, and with the passage of time, your strength will likely continue to fade. The second option is to make one small, yet incredibly powerful change. Add a single teaspoon of creatine to your morning coffee and begin the process of restoring the energy and strength you thought you had lost for good. Here is a clear, step-by-step plan for your first 30 days. For days 1 through 7, the gentle start phase, begin with just 2 grams, which is about half a teaspoon, in your coffee each morning. Be sure to drink 2 extra glasses of water each day. For days 8 through 14, the building up phase, increase your dosage to 3 grams. Also, add a short, 10-minute walk after you finish your coffee. For days 15 through 21, the strength phase, you will reach your full dose of 5 grams, or 1 level teaspoon. At this stage, add some simple strength movements to your day. For days 22 through 30, the review phase, maintain your daily 5-gram dose and honestly review your progress. This is not only about building stronger muscles, it is about waking up with more vitality. It is about enjoying time with family without discomfort. And it is about living your later years with confidence instead of decline. The first step can be as simple as adding a teaspoon to your morning coffee. So, here is my challenge to you. Commit to this for just 30 days. Get pure creatine monohydrate, take it every single morning, and watch how your body begins to respond. Every day you delay, you lose a little more strength. But every day you act, you begin to take it back.